watching Red Road Trip Podcast, and I am here with Shyla Court, who is owner of Decorizing Your Life, and her apprentice, Miss Caitlin Kalicki, and we are in downtown Watonga, Oklahoma, and we are going to talk decorating. We're going to talk organizing. We're going to talk what programs that you provide right here in our small community that's offered for a very wide area.
Yes.
Well, welcome, guys.
Hello.
So I'm hoping everything's live. I know we're going live with yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So we're not sure we're going live with mine, but we're hopefully that's what we're doing. So I wanted to just ask you a question. First of all, I've known you for a very long time, and we went to high school together, and we've done some business things together. And I know your heart. I know what you do. You put everything into it. And I know this has been a passion of yours for many, many years. And you've added on some layers to this business. But what at the core of it is what it is for you? What is it for you?
Well, the organizing is something I wanted to do for years, but I never did start into it. I just did it for family. And then I had the retail store and a salon, and I closed that out. And then we started doing some decorating together and was kind of getting built up. And then your daddy got sick and changed the course of that. And I just kind of put it on the back burner and just kept doing what I'm doing. And then I started getting into the crafting items that I sell, the iron orchid designs, just a whole bunch of lines of crafting products to redo the furniture. You can embellish walls with it. So I still decorate with it. So I have the art studio here, and we do workshops on Saturday, and we would do other events. If you gather up enough friends, we'll come anytime. And got into the organizing because I had Caitlin here, and I have another girl too that's an apprentice, and she does a lot of my virtual stuff. And so that has been surprisingly
busy.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's growing. It's going to have to build just like a clientele on any business.
Right.
But I can't believe how much I love it. And I wish I would have started it years ago.
So when you talk about your organizing, is that just like going into somebody's home and you pick a room, or do you like walk into their space and say, okay, we need to start here and then we'll add on? How does that look?
Well, the client usually reaches out and says, can you do this? I need help with this. And so I have them send me, if they can, a lot of clients are older and can't do this or doesn't want to do it, but send me pictures, send me a video, and just so I can kind of be ready. And we sit down a lot of times and we'll look at those pictures and we're like, this is where they want to start. They may have several things in mind, but we try to say, where do you want to start the most? And we sit down and look at that and kind of be ready for when we go in. But so they usually reach out with they're overwhelmed
with whatever. Yeah. So usually, I know most of the time when people make a big move, or they've maybe lost somebody and they're doing a clean out or something like that. What do I need to keep? What those kinds of things. What do you see most people have the hardest time like purging?
Sentimental things that people have given them, or we have seen, if I use this example, like if they had a catering business or they just had like 10 kids, or they had a season of life where they gathered all the things and they were doing all the things, or they gathered them because they wanted to do it. And that season of life has changed, or their interests have changed, and they either got so much money in it or so much sentimental thing to it, and they're not going to do it again. But they can't let it go. Right. And so we just kind of come in, and we don't try to make you get rid of that, but we'll throw the grieving thing I was going to talk to you about. Like, we have done a widow's house, and she's been a widow for 10 years, and she had a closet, and she had all of those things she still was not ready to get rid of. And I was like, we're not going to come in and make you get rid of it, but let's not leave it in your prime real estate that's right where you're functioning. Let's box this up and put it up high or somewhere and relocate it to where it's not a trigger every time, like, oh,
that's a good point.
So we helped relocate it until they're ready.
Right. That's a really good point. And sometimes we get stuck in just grief. That's one of those areas. And that just having you guys, your team, come in and reorganize, not rid it, but reorganize it to put it in a space of its own, but keep her space functional, also allows for maybe a spiritual growth
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have found, we're new at this. I have purchased a coaching group. It's pretty intense. There's a lot of modules. After I work all the way through it, I will have a certificate.
Great.
You take a test, you get certified. There's a group that I can ask any questions in. Anyway. And so we are still learning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really emotional. It can be two people have almost canceled the day before we come
because it's so
because they're embarrassed.
Oh.
What else? What are some other things you've noticed?
They're embarrassed. They're overwhelmed. They want to tidy up before we come.
Yeah.
They want to sweep before the organizers come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can see that. Somebody that might be, I'm so embarrassed for somebody to come in and see this about myself. Maybe you have a different appearance outside of your home space, and your space is supposed to be kind of your sanctuary, if you will. Yep. And so if it's crazy and cluttered and you don't have organization there, that can make your safe space not so safe.
Right.
So it's really a service that is very underutilized, I'm sure. Yeah. But it's kind of necessary.
And it is an investment. We can talk about that more towards the end. It is an investment, but how do you feel when your plumbing is not working or your electric's not working?
Right?
And that person, you have no knowledge how to do it. Your people don't have knowledge to do it. And that comes in and gets taken care of. And there is such relief. And then you're functioning. You're not behind on your laundry, on the cooking. It affects everything. So that emotional thing that, I'm doing this professional organizing for a living, and you should see and I'm pretty honest, if you follow me on Decorizing Your Life.
Yes.
I have so many spaces that I am overwhelmed with. I'm embarrassed of. I feel like a hypocrite. And my garage was so bad, told my husband, I said, honey, can we use some of our personal money I need my people to help. And when we went in there, I said, Caitlin, tell me what to do, because I'm emotionally attached and overwhelmed and just brain blocked by my own stuff. So we come in and we don't just try to everybody thinks you're a professional organizer. You got to get rid of everything. We have created so much space without some people even getting rid of anything. Some of them have.
That's what's so important is you make these little spaces for them, right?
It's just a rethinking. And so many people, what's the one thing a lot of people have said to us when we left?
They feel so relieved.
Yeah.
Relieved. How long does it usually take to go in? I'm sure it depends on the size of the space that you're working on, but what's the average?
We like to not book anything less. It's not that we won't, but I try to book a minimum of 4 hours, because we don't want to come in and tear everything up and not be able to put it all back together. Even if we're coming back several sessions, we want to leave it where you're not overwhelmed and seeing things. And you can't hardly get done what we do, in less than 3 hours for sure. Most of the time, the people that need our services, most of the time, you need at least. So I just say a minimum of 4, because we're marking out our day. We're traveling a lot of times, and we will travel. 45 minutes each way, no charge.
Okay.
Some mileage any further than that, but we'll travel quite a ways. We will haul off one carload, and I have a very large car, a Suburban, of donations and trash at no cost. It's not on the clock for you. Great. A lot of times you can get a tax receipt for the donations. Sometimes some people have been able to take off our services on their taxes. Okay. So anyway, but I don't know. We try not to book a minimum of less than 4 hours.
4
hours. But this is what we've learned. I've learned this in the coaching group. We have seen people
get really tired going through and organizing everything. And so really 8 hours is too much.
Yeah.
They shut down.
They just wilt. You can just see they're done.
Yeah.
They want you out of their space.
Sure.
They may love the fire out of you and what you're doing, but they're just, it's emotional. It's overwhelming.
Well, and you're probably, they've probably got so many thoughts going through their head that, do I really want to get rid of this right now too?
Yeah.
So, or is this something I really should hold on to? That's what I think I would end up being like. I probably would use this maybe in 10 years, but I might need this. I probably need to have you guys come and go through some of my space. I have a problem of I've downsized, and so I have a lot of stuff, and just trying to figure out well, is this just way too much in this one space I have or whatever? That's what I feel like I run into. And I'm gonna tell on myself. My husband, he's gonna know this, but it's clothing. Yeah, clothing is a big issue for me. Like, I can't get rid of it. I think it might come in back in style. Yeah. So when somebody is like me that says, no, I don't know, do I really want to hold on to that? I might want it, or my weight might fluctuate. Do you get rid of clothes and things like that too?
We created so much space in the swim closet that we didn't have to, but our last client, we were shocked at how much stuff she was just ready. She was ready. And her daughter-in-law came in and got a few pieces, and she gave it to us and said, just get rid of it. I'm going to take it to my church, has a clothing shelter, but there's places I can take it anyway. And yeah, I feel like we hold it. This is what we've done. We've had clients that can't physically stand there the whole time, so we bring it to you, and we're like, yes, no, and maybe. We'll think about it later. Let's just go through this, and then we can box it up and relocate it if it's just you really aren't ready to let it go.
Right.
But we can, I like Caitlin is young. I'm medium to old. And then we've got, we just help each other. No. Or, we can even help you.
Right.
I'm a little bit of a fashionista as well. And so we can help you know, or you have 4 of these.
Right. Yeah.
And
do you
so
really
we
need
help
this?
you. We'll help you purge if you want to.
So do you bring totes? Do you bring the stuff?
Yeah.
Yes.
Most
That's
of the time,
included?
Yeah, one big thing, people think they have to go buy all this stuff before we come, or what do you want me to, you probably have been trying to get organized on your own for years. Yeah. You have all the stuff. We have used things you have in your house, and we think outside the box on that too.
Okay.
Let us use what you have, or tell you, we've measured this, we've got your system set up, this is what you can go buy, or we will, for a fee, shop for you, or for a lesser fee, send you the links so that you can have it. We had one client, we said, this is what you need, these are the sizes, this is how many we want, here's the links. And she had them ready for us when we got there, and her husband put the shelves together, so we wasn't spending the time putting the shelves, and he could do it.
So it wasn't on that, So that was
and we are very, very efficient and function, and so we want to make the most of your time. Sure. And so if you're a person, some people want homework, so they'll, okay, this is what you can do before we get there. This is what you can do when we leave to make, you can do this instead of paying us. Oh, one thing I do need to add that I didn't tell some clients, we do not deep clean.
Oh, yeah.
We don't want to spend, for what we charge, we don't want to scrub the syrup off of the shelf. No. So we'll lightly get that off. We're not deep clean. And then, let us get, yeah. So you'll have to bring somebody else in for that. I don't do that in my own home either. It's organized, but it's filthy. Okay. So we don't want you to, we have another part of all that is more of our expertise. So we want to spend it on that. And a lot of clients have said, I didn't think like that. I never thought of that.
So do you rearrange furniture while you're there to make it a little more, if you want to use this word feng shui or whatever, just to make the house flow a little bit?
Yeah.
There's something called EMF, and this is something I didn't even talk to you about, that like Wi-Fi, it's all about energy within your home, and like Wi-Fi, all your electronics, all of these things can bring a specific energy into your home, and kind of just reorganizing all of that, not to, be an invasion in one specific space, might make a home feel a little less.
You can make chaos into peace, and we're supposed to feel peace, and it will snowball into other areas of your life.
Sure
or
does.
We come in and help you with one area, and we've heard people be inspired to keep going. When we left, they did this closet or a drawer. It's like the Dave Ramsey snowball effect with the debt. And it snowballs into you feeling like you can do more.
Right. So I'm going to ask you, while you're looking at your notes, I'm going to ask you, Caitlin, so what have you found to be the most rewarding part of doing these projects?
The inspiration I feel after getting done with the client, it makes me inspired to want to go and organize something in my space or in a family member's space.
Do you feel like obviously it's a service that you guys are giving to clients, but do you also feel like you're serving, if you will, a greater mission as well? Like we were talking a little bit spiritually. Do you feel like by organizing somebody's space actually is also helping them kind of reach a different level on a spiritual level in some respect?
It could make a way for them to be open to that
More
because
open.
we're so like,
Now, do you give little tips and advice like, maybe if we want to do this at another time, we can talk about redecorating and doing those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, we'll give ideas for that, or we'll rearrange what they have there for, with permission. Some people,
course.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah. We've got all that.
What are some other topics that you wanted to kind of talk about today?
Okay.
Because that's a big one. And that's just one of the services that you guys do.
Yeah. We have a secret menu of other things we will do, but we're going to do that on another podcast.
We're going to do that, another time.
So, one of the reasons why to hire a professional organizer is it will save you time because you're not looking for things. You just know, all the tools are in this room or all the tools are here. So it saves you time. It saves you money because what'll happen is when we're working in a client's house and we usually say we're doing a pantry, we'll pull the whole pantry out. And I have this is how it happens. We come in with 3 sorting buckets, Post-it notes, a Sharpie, a tape measure, a notebook. And literally we just, we keep bucket, we relocate bucket, and a donate bucket. And then, so we'll pull in. I'm like, do you have any other paper towels anywhere else in your house? Because you have all this space. We're going to put all your paper towels. They'll have it in 3 other locations. So what do? You keep buying it because you don't know. But if you have it all where you're like, you can just quickly go, oh, I need this, and this. So you over purchase and then things expire or, the mice get into it or whatever.
Yeah.
So it brings peace. It makes you more productive. It energizes and snowballs. We talked about that. Our heart when we come in is to make it function first and pretty second. My tagline is decorating and decorating is, with beauty and purpose. So you need to make it function. We'll make it pretty later. We'll write with, I actually posted an after picture on this one client's house. We just Sharpied on the sticker side of the buckets that we did because because you can erase that with alcohol or acetone, turn it around, put labels on later, but we ran out of time. So we just want a quick label for when we left her. And they tore me up on that. But you know what? Function first, pretty later. Let's use what you have now. Later, if you want to invest in, those work so good. I'm going to go get wicker baskets instead of plastic baskets.
Right.
But this was a client that had told us she wanted to do another session. So we were able to bring the cute labels back. If this was a client that had just booked one session, then we might have spent that extra time putting on the pretty labels.
Yeah. So, and there's all different kind of clients. That's something else I wanted to talk about. There are visual organizers that, like, I'm different here than I am in my home. In my art studio, I need everything out because it inspires me and I can go get it and I'll use it.
Right.
Okay. And there's people like that in their home. In my home, anything that functions, it has to be in a cute bucket. The bread has to be in a bread box or it's behind closed door. So there's different kinds of styles. And so we come in and our first thing we do is we spend the first probably 15 to 30 minutes touring the space and the other projects they may want to do, getting a feel for. We will come in and say, okay, first of all, we need to know who all lives here. And that's not just you and a husband. Do you have animals? Who lives here? Who functions? Because I tell people, it's usually not all about you.
No, and typically that's what you see a lot of times. Everybody needs their own space, right?
Yes. So we want to know, how does this flow? What is, so then we say, because even if you live alone, okay, it can be all about you, but do you entertain? Do you have your kids come over?
Right.
We need things set up for them.
Right.
And the last client we did, her guest room, her daughter comes and it was always a pain, but she needs that closet too. So we redid that. So you got to think about who and how, your animals.
Whenever you have a guest over, for them to feel like they have a space too.
Yeah.
It's very important for them. I think that's part of that teaching. I mean, you're not just going in there and organizing. You're also inspiring people to know, like, hey, this is important just in communications and life. with other
and there's
people.
been things that, cause my style, like I'm a relational person. So I am not you're not going to give us the keys and we're going to go in and do it. However, no, you got to come in. We're going to fit you. We want this to be realistic for your family. And I have left things where like, I want everything in one spot, all the categories in one spot, but they need it in 2 spots. And I'm like, Caitlin, I have to work through this first. Yeah. I'm fitting. It's not about me and how I want to do it. Now, some organizers,
they make it more like that.
Yeah, you can have that style. I don't want that. I want it to work for you, and I want you to be happy. And one thing I would say is, it's normal to have to tweak a little something after we leave because, the microwave needed scooted down here and this needed over here. Right. That's normal after a professional organizer comes. You make it to how it works for you. And then the other thing is it's normal to have to maintenance. So what worked for you for this season of life we may have to come in a year later because now you're an empty nester or something different changed. You've added a hobby, you've added a pet, you've added something. It's not abnormal that, oh my gosh, it's normal that we have to maintenance because the weather seasons make you change how your house is set up. Your seasons of life changes how you have to. So that's not like you're did some bad, horrible thing or you didn't maintenance the service you paid us to come and do. That's normal. And we can come and maintenance for you.
I like that.
And another thing, some will work alone. I will not work alone. I will always work with 2 people. And we can add more as, the project if you need. So anyway.
Great. Love it.
Oh, another thing is we don't tell names. We don't tell location. We ask you when we come in, we have I have a whole thing you can fill out of forms, professional forms. Everybody I've worked for so far, I haven't done that yet, even though I know them. I probably still should do this. I have professional forms. So as we are advertising, I've done some advertising, in the papers and stuff. And as we get to people, I'm going to have forms. And one of them is, do you release I always ask, do you release your before and after pictures? I won't put your name. I won't put your location. And I've had one client said, no, I don't want my stuff on there. Oh, no problem. No problem.
Sure.
So we ask that.
So there's a lot of privacy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We blur out any personal pictures,
thank you.
Safes.
That's good.
That's great. We don't have that stuff on there.
Yeah.
So.
And you said you do travel 45 minutes.
Well, it's no charge, 45 minutes one way.
But you will go.
Oh, yeah.
Anywhere.
And we haven't charged mileage fee yet, but I need to start doing that. But we've went to Edmond and that's an hour and 45 minutes away. We're willing to travel.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
well, that's great.
And then let's see. So
I think this is one of those things that it's a kind of an untapped area in your life that you don't put a lot of attention to, but really deserves the attention.
Yeah.
Because if it's just like anything, if you let it go, I'm just going to use it. You just come out of college and if you let your homework go, you get behind. And it's just the same thing. If you let something in your home go, you get behind on it. And then, like you were saying, your laundry is piled up to the, your neck and there's no space to do it.
Yes. And, there was something else I was going to say about that.
Well, I think this is a great service that you're providing. I really do. Is there any other aspects of this service? Is there any other aspects of your business that you want to discuss?
I think one thing to point out, we don't just do homes. We can do garages, storages, businesses.
So if a business is getting ready to move, I know a business that you need to contact.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and because I am a business, I have had craft booths, I have had a storefront, I've had a salon, I worked for my husband's family businesses, several of them. I've had this place. I know how to set up businesses.
Right.
I get it. I know marketing part of it, so I would love that. Maybe I'll get so busy someday I get to specialize. No, I can't just specialize in one thing. I'd be bored. But so
do you get referrals if you send somebody to you?
Okay, we'll hit you up. One reason to hire a professional organizer is because friends and family are not good help. They're mean to you.
And they don't tell you.
They're mean. Or I have one daughter that we're the same. We love all the tchotchkes, all the clothes, all the stuff. And I'm like, oh no, you just keep it. And she's like, oh no, you just keep it. Or we just exchange our stuff.
Yeah, I like
or
that.
You have the mean daughter that was like, get rid of everything because they're a minimalist and they're mean. Mom, why do you like, or, people, I'm not saying friends and family can't help you, but it's not good.
It's not always.
You want to get somebody not.
I've had clients that are like, they just don't, family members don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't.
Especially
why are you paying somebody to do that?
Yeah, the whole grief thing. I can understand.
Oh, that. Yeah. So, okay, you guys can.
That's really good. Well, one thing I had was going to ask you about is about, okay, we talked about space cleaning, but what about like, we talked a little bit about the, crazy energy that can be brought on with electronics and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
What if like you move into a home, like a brand new home, and you just are like, okay, I'm not feeling this place. Something's not right here. Do you come in and can you just like say, okay, it's because it's too dark. You need to open up the windows. Yeah. You need to have more light shining in. Do you offer those types of tips?
I haven't done that, but if they ask, absolutely.
We have done something similar where they had just moved in and were wanting to put some things up. Yeah.
And we gave them some ideas.
And then we had another client that was wanting to do renovations. And so we kind of helped her out with where it would flow, what she was wanting to do, and when she had guests over and everything.
Yeah, just the flow, I think, of space is so important, and people forget. Like, you can't walk in and there just be one big heavy piece of furniture right there in your face because you're just like, okay, I can't even see where,
it's not welcoming.
It just feels like you just hit a brick wall.
Yeah, we try to think about that. If we move this here, they're going to bump this every time, or, they're going to have to carry the dog water clear to this way and water's going to get on the floor. Yeah, we think like that. Yeah. We think like,
that's great.
The other service we can do, and we have not done yet, I am not going to, because insurance-wise and all that, I don't want to pack your stuff to move. I could get you to assign a liability. I have a professional form, but I just don't want to do that because if something gets broke, I don't want to be. But we will and would love to unpack your new home. Okay. I would love to do that. Okay. I love to set, my favorite thing to set up is kitchens, and bathrooms, and I've done, my daughter is like, Mom, you've done 5 of my kitchens. I was like, she needs to be on that. She needs to start paying. No, I love it. And that was just, I would just be so happy. And I don't know why I didn't go ahead and jump in and do the organizing. The organizing, instead of, the secret menu, I'm not going to talk a lot about it, but is the decor. And me and you have stripped some wallpaper.
Yes, we have.
And we're like, you know what? We're not 20. And we're not trying to buy groceries with this job. I don't want to do this anymore.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
But with that, the organizing, and I didn't realize because I wasn't doing it professionally, it's just so cut and dry. Like if I texture somebody's wall, it's going to take me hours and days to dry and to come back and paint. And you have to close it all up and travel. And I can go in with some Post-it notes and some buckets and change people's lives in a few hours.
That's amazing.
So it's amazing. Like, and my coaching group I'm in that I paid big money for, she is in interior design. She has a 4-year degree. And she quickly said, yeah, you could do both, but you're going to want to organize.
Because,
and I do love to decorate. That's in our blood. It's on our blood.
It is.
But it's just right now I have other avenues of my business and I don't have time to do a lot of both. Not that we will reject that because we're still building the pro organizing. But yeah, it's just cut and dry, and it's so much value for what you're paying.
That's great. That's so great. Yep. Well, it's been so much fun talking about what you guys do. And what's your address here?
215 West Main in Watonga.
And how can they get a hold of you if they have a job that they want done?
Okay, good.
You can contact us or contact Shyla. The phone number is 580-791-0746. Okay. We prefer texting or calling that number because with Facebook it's just hard to get all of the messages.
I'm not as fast replying because I have so many pages and groups I'm over. I'm having to dig and make sure, and I am one that gets on it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing. We work really fast. We charge by the hour, and anyway, I want to give you the value. So even when we're at lunch in the car, off the clock, we are thinking, what are we going to do next? You know, we're just eating and we're getting the plan. And, you know, the first little bit we're in there, we're doing the consult. The first 15 or 30 minutes is on the clock. And we are, it may kind of go slow because we're getting to know you in the field. And then even that last project, that was the first time it was kind of going, it was just like, we were kind of felt like we were going like this at first. And then things started clicking. I mean, we was booking it. So I try to work very fast, very efficient, and I'm very reachable. So you can reach out to me.
You say you have Facebook.
Yeah, but text message is the best. Or
but
call.
if they want to follow you and come see some of your work,
yeah,
they can find you on Facebook. You have a website.
Yep, and I have a YouTube channel.
And then you do lives a lot.
Yeah.
I know you do lives a lot. And you're soon to have a mobile text club that you're going to be utilizing. So that's good. We'll get that information out.
Yep.
And so you'll send out little maybe tips and things like that.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Thank you. That's why she's going to be my.
So we're all in this together, and that's what I love. Watonga is a very small community, but we really like to support big, support each other big. And I encourage anybody that's in our community to reach out to Shyla and her team at Decorizing Your Life and get more information about the services. You also do other services, and we're going to do another podcast on that because she has amazing painting classes,
custom painting furniture.
Might
would do cabinets if it's the right set of cabinets. we did that. Oh, cabinets are a lot of work.
They're a lot of work. But yeah, so we just appreciate you guys, and I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so thankful that you decided that this is where you wanted to launch this from, and
I love it. Like, please let me come because we are loving this so much. I had no idea. I wish I would have started in my 20s.
I did too, because we probably could have had a business.
I know. She's still, when Caitlin's got her own business goals, and you'll have to do her focus. I'm going to be, and I'm like, Teresa, I'm going to need you. I'll pay you this much money. Come on, girl.
We're going to do it. So, but that's just a business that's supporting each other. And so if you don't, and if you haven't had a chance to hear Shyla on her Facebook Lives, follow her pages. You've got Decorizing Your Life. You've got a Creator's Pearl.
Yeah, that's my God page.
That's what
God Bible study thing. The Creator's Pearl.
And you've also what's the other site that you do? Don't you have another site that you manage?
Mostly just those. I go live for my companies, but I haven't done that in a minute since we're getting all this going.
But the Iron Orchid, that you've got some really great products through that, and I know she's got a great team that work.
Yes, Caitlin. Caitlin is, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing and growing my business without her. That's awesome. I am going to cry tears when she's full-fledged in church. She's going to stay with me until she gets her business going, but sometimes she's going to have to leave me. And I'm real sad.
But you've built a lot within her to have her own.
Oh, you got to have help.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And how Teresa said businesses can help each other.
Oh, yeah. We're totally going to network.
I think that's so great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, guys, thanks for watching and thanks for being a part and listening to the podcast. And I can't wait to do this again. Thanks, Shyla. Thanks,
Thank
Caitlin.
you.
See you guys later. All right. I didn't know that I actually